Guys, I'm nervous.
Why?
Why?
Who's going to win the Oscar this year?
That's what you're nervous about?
Yeah.
You're not worried about anything world event-wise?
Well, the world of the Oscars.
The Oscar world.
Oscar world.
How do you think the election plays a role in who gets nominated for an Oscar?
Well, I'm imagining that The Apprentice is going to be pushed forward a little bit more as a significant film for the year. That's my guess. Same for Am I Racist?
Yeah, you think those are going to be the two horses?
Those two are the
leading this
front
race?
runners for this year's social discourse film.
Best director, Matt Walsh.
What did you think of Am I Racist? You saw that one like 3 times, right?
Yeah, it was my second most watched movie this year.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it, but Jeremy Johns gave it a good review, so maybe
Yeah,
I will.
gave it a good no alcohol required.
You think we could have him on the show?
That'd be great. I'd love to have Jeremy on the show.
Okay. Welcome back to Stacked, everybody. I don't remember what episode this is. It's been a while.
Yeah, we went on a little hiatus there.
Yeah. Went and worked in a sweatshop. Went on shipped
Yeah,
off to New York.
we've all kind of been.
We all had these little side quests in between.
My regular life is a side quest. This podcast is my life.
This is your life?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back. We're all here. And we're all the wiser. Because guess what? It's smart movie season. It's Oscar adult think movie, the big think movie season. This is where all the real art comes out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what we got a quite an exciting season, I feel.
You think?
I think so. I mean, look, we got some contenders right here. Oppenheimer, that one could win. Space Jam, that one could win. Coca-Cola, that one could win. No, but I think I've seen a lot of great films this year that I hope to be included in this Oscar season race, this awards season.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first awards show that's coming up?
Like for movies?
No, just in general.
I think.
Is there like a baking contest award show?
When's the BET Awards? Do you know?
I really should. But I don't.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this award season? It does feel a lot more feels calmer than last year.
Yeah,
because last year had some ones that were like everyone was cheering for those ones to go. But this year it's like it feels a bit more low key, right?
Yeah, at least for me, it's been like more moderate this year. I feel. I mean, obviously we're still kind of in the award season, so a lot of us are still waiting to go see a certain movie or waiting for it to come out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there hasn't been any movie that's been like, oh, like these two are going to be fighting a lot.
This one's the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nicely spread, and there's there are some definite standouts, but there's nothing that's there's no like fierce competition this year, at least so far.
I disagree. I think this year has been so thin. Not even like. I don't think there's many contenders, if I'm being honest.
You think they'll cancel the show this year?
No, I didn't say that. I think they're going to be struggling to find a 10.
Oh.
Like,
really?
Yeah, I do. And it's not. I'm not saying I haven't liked or I dislike a lot of the films that came out this year. But I do think all of the films that are typical Oscar bait have all pretty much fallen flat. Or been like just considered like good movies, no more, no less.
Like which ones?
Blitz is one we haven't seen.
What the hell?
The Steve McQueen.
Saoirse Ronan.
World War II movie. I think Saturday Night, as much as there are some people who love that movie, I know you're one of them.
Yeah.
I
don't think that's an Oscars movie.
No.
If I'm gonna be honest.
Maybe not. It's a part of American culture. But those ones come to mind.
Yeah.
If you give me a sec, I could probably think of some more. But yeah.
I saw a couple. I feel like I saw a couple fall season movies in theaters recently. I saw
Venom 3.
Venom 3. That could be a huge one. No, I saw Juror number 2.
Yeah.
Which I would put maybe for screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The screenplay is pretty good. And then Conclave.
Ooh.
Conclave. I did enjoy Conclave.
Yeah, very fun movie.
That I hope is like, because that was just
two
like,
popes for.
It was two popes, but more drama,
Very
Lots
cat.
of-
That's a very catty.
It was
movie.
it was just a very energetic drama, you know, and it was just like it was fun to just like get lost in the drama.
Real Housewives of the Vatican.
Really, for real, the
That's
real
actually a good way to
bishops,
put it. Yeah.
the real bishops of the conclave.
I mean, I'm not saying those. I would say there are 5 locks for Best Picture this year.
Yeah.
So far, Conclave is one of them.
Okay.
Dune Part 2.
Okay.
Anora.
Yes.
Amelia Perez.
Which I still have
I
no
still have
idea
not seen.
what that movie is.
Yeah.
What is that movie?
It's like a musical drama about like 3
Is there stuff going on with like I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling that out of my ass.
With what?
It's like business, but it's also crime.
Yeah,
Business?
it's kind of a crime movie.
Business.
Lord business.
Oh, okay.
And but also it's more about like gender identity, and we'll take that any day. And then
Okay.
The Brutalist.
Like pay gaps and stuff.
Oh yeah, brutal.
No, I don't. Not that.
Oh, okay. And then I am so excited for the Brutalist.
Yeah.
Trailer looks amazing.
I just
It
saw
does
the
look
trailer
awesome.
for it before Conclave,
Yeah,
and
Looks
I'm
great.
just like, oh, it just looks.
That's a movie.
It just it looks grand.
it's a
Yeah.
film.
You know,
It's like
it's a
intimate.
film.
and grand, which
It's
I
a
love.
film.
It kind of reminds me of like the Best Years of Our Lives sort of movie, like a post-war take on American life,
Yeah.
which could be really interesting, especially with the actors they have in it and like what it's tackling. And in the modern day, it might have a better sort of grasp on the public, especially with what's going on in the world
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
So, but the other 5 spots are like up for grabs. Like I thought The Apprentice was going to take off. Maybe it will.
Yeah.
But like that movie made no money.
Yeah.
Nobody went to
I
see
missed
it.
it in theaters.
A Different
It didn't
Man.
play for long.
Feels small.
Yeah,
So maybe people aren't going to watch that one and go, yeah, that one.
I think A Different Man. It just had too small a release.
Sing Sing, like that disappeared.
Yeah.
A24 said they'll do a later year rollout, but if The Brutalist is their movie,
What about the Nickel Boys? I've heard good things about that one.
they pushed the release date
Oh, did it?
When does
Yeah.
it come out now?
like late December. So it's
Oh.
in line for a late Oscar release.
But a little late to the party.
That's sorry. That made me really mad that I had to kick the table. That was-
Well, there were 2 other movies that come to mind for me if I were to assemble. My
Go
list right
ahead.
now. I
Yeah.
would throw in The Substance.
I hope
Oh,
so,
oh yeah.
but it's not.
It's
It's
very non-Oscar-y.
it's not their flavor usually,
Yeah.
so I
And-
wouldn't bet on it.
I know you haven't seen it yet, Brian, but I really like The Real Pain.
I've
Oh
heard
my
great
God.
things about it. It's Searchlight, which gives me
And I think it's gonna get acting noms.
Yeah, I think I'll get it.
Like Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg in that movie were
Yeah,
fantastic.
They're fantastic together.
Oh my god. Yeah, I hope for that. I'm still standing by my challengers. I
Yeah,
think that movie
that's
still
hopeful,
has
hopeful,
legs. I
hopeful.
think people still talk about that
Hopeful
one.
for challengers.
Yeah. Dune gonna sweep all the technical stuff, which is
Except score.
except score, because it's not allowing it. Which is
We'll see. Denise says
Denise-
the fight's not over.
the fight. Hopefully the fight's not over.
Fight.
But like, I think that whole movie should just win best score just for one piece that they wrote, and
Is it
that's just
the-
like the
the
love
flute?
theme.
Yeah.
Yes, that is like
the one you performed in our cozy room.
yes, the one that I performed. I performed hopefully an Oscar-winning score.
You should play. You should perform at the Oscars in place of Hans. He
yeah,
brings you out.
when they do
It's like E3 when they
Yeah.
brought out like people to play the score for a bunch of games and stuff like that.
Peggle 2 like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna try to work the Oscars this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see what happens.
we'll see.
We'll see if I can get in. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? So maybe I can play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be pissed if that score don't do nothing. Sorry, someone just never mind.
Throw it back
Um,
there.
What else? Let's talk about some films that just came out recently that you do think could get some like. You brought up Anora. We haven't talked about Anora yet on the show.
No, we
Okay,
haven't.
it came out during our little hiatus, and I do think that's gonna have a very very strong presence this
Mhm.
awards season because I thought it was incredible. Personally, I just thought Sean Baker's getting better and better at just like being able to just plop you down in like just this real messy situation that, like I said, just feels real. You know. Like
I mean, it's the front runner. I think.
yeah.
I feel like even though this year doesn't have like it seems like a number one contender, it feels like that just because of like what prestige it's gotten.
Yeah.
Like critical reviews are great.
Palme d'Or.
Palme d'Or, got second place or third place at Toronto.
Yeah.
Those are all like great things for the film to like generate buzz, and that's why it's definitely getting a nomination.
Mm-hmm.
I just hesitate on a win, just because I feel like the movie is generating so much buzz that you're gonna overhype the audience, and then they're gonna end up feeling disappointed. I didn't feel disappointed, but I do think the film is a little overrated.
Why?
Mainly because I feel like Sean Baker, who edited it as well, like doesn't know. It's not that he doesn't know how to cut his own movie. I think that he just could have cut more to make a tighter, more efficient feature, because the film feels like it's 3 different movies at once. The first act feels very much in line with like Pretty Woman, and is intentionally trying to like mislead the audience, but speeds through like sections of character development that we might as well like we might know by the end like is about like, but I feel like I needed to know more information about their relationship to gauge. Like,
really?
Yeah, I do. I think Anora as a character is really thin and underdeveloped, even though like I do get like the struggle going on in her head about wanting to maintain the status and the illusion of love, even if she doesn't actually love the lead character. And then the second third of it feels like After Hours and is very tense and it's humorous, but I don't think all the humor is going to stick with like the Oscar voters. So by the end of the movie, while I find the last third to be like very compelling and interesting and the best part about the movie, because it's like a gut check, sort of like other Sean Baker movies, I don't think it hit as hard as it could have. And that's unfortunate, because I was really looking forward to the movie, and I would. It's neck and neck with Red Rocket. Not saying it's like either of those movies are bad, but they're just really good, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So
I just think like I think people are having a hard time reading this film.
I would agree.
Because,
Yes.
I think what makes this film so special to me personally is that like I think Sean Baker's really arguing that sex is language. And I think he's using that as a language to tell us more information about these characters that people are saying that is lacking. And that's how I felt. Like I feel like I learned so much about Annie through this film through how she like has sex with other people and how that communicates like herself, her emotions, how she feels about things, and where that's like where her situation is. And that's why the film ends with that one scene in the car. I feel like, I feel like that just summarized like everything, and yeah, I just feel like it was just like this very like, Joey and I went to go see Heretic last night, and there's these 2 people outside the theater arguing with someone on the phone. And it just felt like this, like something out of Anora. It was like this kid and this old man.
Sees 2 people arguing,
and the mom was yelling at the kid, being like, "You never like talk to me, you never call me, you never talk to me." And the dad was like, or I don't even know if it was the dad. It was just some old guy like showing the kid the phone, trying to over FaceTime. And it was like, Joey and I were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like that felt like a Sean Baker movie, because he's so good at just making like some real ass like confrontations between people. And I think like he shows so many different sides of that, which you could argue feels like different movies in Anora. But I feel like it's just like, oh wow, he's just showing like all these real ranges of emotions throughout this one like storyline.
It's like the pacing is so uneven, and it feels like the first third of it especially plays into what we're talking about with pacing being way too fast, even though it's you're buying into this cocaine fueled romance, essentially this ketamine fueled romance, and like you're moving at that speed because that's how fast people who don't care about losing their money like move at. But at the same time, when it hits the brakes so hard, it doesn't lose me. It just it takes away the momentum from the future, and also makes you like rethink that first third. And not in a way where it's like, I'm like, like now I get what the first third was saying. No, I got that. It's just I was like, I wish there was more here. Not saying it's bad. I wish there was more. Even though I agree with what you're saying about how sexist language.
I was just living it because I was like, damn, these are the consequences. Of
Yeah.
just like being with this loser.
Yeah.
You know.
Who could have seen that coming?
Who could have seen it? Chris, did you see it coming?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I mean, like, yeah, the moment you meet the guy, you're like, oh, this guy not only is he noticeably younger and like quite immature, but yeah, you know, like the movie does this thing where it's like, yeah, you kind of are brought along with Anora and like kind of like, you know, falling in love, you know, the fantasy, right? Like there's that scene later in the film where Anora, or Annie, I should say, is celebrating leaving the club that she works at. And she's like, oh, I want to get married at Disneyland, and then she's like, you know, in those ballrooms, and then her friend's like, oh, Cinderella, and she's like, yeah, Cinderella, you know me so well. I'm like, this is what Cinderella is. Like this is the exact story. It just like it doesn't end. It ends very tragically, not in the happy Disney version of Cinderella. Yeah, you know, so like I knew like when they got married, I was like, oh, like she's so happy. I'm happy for her, but I'm also like,
this is not
the right guy. For
yeah,
me,
yeah,
and yeah, and then you know, just like as things decline, like I'm conscious that like, you know, I was fully aware that some shit like this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But for me, like it worked because I nonetheless felt compelled by Annie's struggle, and you know, granted, yeah, I would have kind of similarly to Brandon, like yeah, I would have appreciated maybe a bit more development on Ivan's character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm also similarly like not terribly upset that I didn't get more, because the film centralizes itself so much on Annie that like just knowing that Ivan is a man-child, son of an oligarch, and all this stuff, it's like the foundations are there. I would have appreciated more meat, but the essence is there.
I was more compelled with his parents.
His parents were interesting, and that the family expectation stuff, I thought that was a nice little third act element that was brought into the film. I really like Igor, like how at first he's like just like a machismo kind of henchman, a goon, a straight up goon.
How often do they develop goons in movies?
Right, exactly.
Leave us your answers in the comments below.
The Goonies.
How often do you?
Yeah, the Goonies is probably like the only one.
The Goonies.
Not even a joke.
Favorite mob flick. Hey, with the Goonies.
But yeah, you know, I really liked Anora. Granted, like I said, like, you know, there's things I could see him cutting or like amplifying up a bit more, but as a whole, the piece works. And for me, that's great. It's currently sitting in the 5th top 5 of the year.
The 5th top 5?
The 5th spot in the top 5.
The top 5 of the year.
There's 5 top 5 lists. It's in the 5th one.
It's in my 5th top 5 list of this year. So it's number 25. Wow.
But
yeah, no, it's high up for me too. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the distance.
It could.
I
just don't. There's a lot of movies this year where I don't buy Oscar voters being like, I don't really have like this as a number one. You know, I feel like they might go with something a little bit more simple this year, like something like A Real Pain, which though I haven't seen, seems like a very great meditation on grief and memory, and as well as like brotherhood and also like historical tragedy and trauma.
That would be wild if it won Best Picture.
It could. It's Searchlight. Searchlight's great with that.
It is a small film.
Yeah, it is like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like we could make it. But I mean,
in terms of like
production scale,
yeah. Like,
you know,
it's
fairly minimal resource wise.
Less than 8 characters.
And it's like mostly on location, fairly
in
like
rooms.
Simple lighting setup.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
But that'd be because I don't think I've ever seen a film that small win Best Picture.
And
especially these days.
It's a comedy drama, right? It's not just a drama.
Yeah.
So, but when was the last time you saw a dramedy win Best Picture? It's been a while, you know? Like last year we had The Holdovers sort of competing for like awards here and there, but that's like but I can't even remember the last winner that like would be characterized as that. Maybe in the
Parasite
90s. No, but that doesn't really fit the mold, which is why, you know, if we're thinking about like a little bit of nostalgia, technically Oscar bait, but really not like really?
Yeah.
Is it Oscar bait, would you say?
I mean
no.
No, and certainly not in like a conscious way. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
I don't think they were actively pursuing like a checklist, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah, it
I
felt
feel
very
like
organic.
there
to me.
are certainly like they have their
the scene,
they have their
the actors
scenes,
flexing scene.
you
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
they have all their scenes that they'd play before their nomination, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just like I think it's a very timely film
Mhm.
about guilt and sort of just like grappling with just the shit in the world and how everyone deals with that, you know?
It's very personal, but also universal, which I really liked.
Yeah. Because it's like it's two different people dealing with grief and guilt in two very different ways.
I will say, with everything falling off of the Best Picture bandwagon
Yeah.
because of what happens inevitably every year, where quality or what is this?
I am just like
Oh.
I'm dictating the flow of your speech right now. So just keep talking.
He's judging me.
I'm not judging. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. and-
Is
That's
every
weird.
year stuff falls off that does give rise to something unique like The Substance or Challengers or even The Wild Robot
Yeah.
sneaking in there for a Best Picture nomination. I will say
Wild
that.
Robot Best Picture.
A lot of people love that movie and the message. You do not, but a lot of people do.
It's so witty. Everyone's witty in that movie.
You don't like witty people.
It's
It
just like
annoys you.
it doesn't annoy me if I meet a witty person, but imagine going into like a room full of all witty people, all trying to like outwit them each other, and I'm just like, y'all are annoying. Like, oh, it's well that just happened. Well, I don't know. I eat babies and children. Oh, you know that
So
was like
funny.
the whole movie.
It's so funny.
Everyone's just being witty and dark.
You don't like existentialism?
I don't know.
That's your favorite thing.
There's got to be a good balance.
Yeah. But what else is coming out that we might be able to
Well,
see as a contender?
Let me pull up my little upcoming movies list.
The one I sent you?
I integrated that into my Prime.
Oh, okay.
it wasn't good enough. It really wasn't good enough.
What's our role looking like?
The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
What?
The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Okay.
What is that?
It's a foreign film that's from
Yawn.
Iran.
Just kidding.
It's
And it's been getting buzz.
it's been getting good buzz. It got buzz out of Cannes.
Oh,
And
wow.
usually there's one foreign film a year and it hasn't popped up.
Yeah.
There's been no foreign film
That's
that's
true, yeah.
been like, hey,
Oh, didn't pop up. It just popped up like that. Happy
there's
Halloween.
there's that Nicole Kidman movie called Baby Girl
Baby girl.
that's been making headlines for a
That
very
trailer
particular,
was crazy. I saw that before Heretic last night. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh, it looks fun. I'm excited to see.
It's kind of got like a
erotic thriller.
Challenger
Yeah.
substance sort of like
Intensity.
intensity edit to it,
Yeah.
which I kind of like.
Have you? I feel like Brandon and I will detail, so I feel like you know. But have you been hearing the headlines that movie's been making because of something Nicole Kidman said?
What'd she say?
Well, they were talking about Brandon. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's with Harris Dickinson.
Yeah.
What-
So Harris Dickinson is her co-star
yeah,
in the
Right.
film, and they play like a forbidden couple, if you will.
like
All
he's
that
like
heaven allows.
He's
sort
like
of
the
thing.
young. Yeah, sure. Yeah, like that.
he's her
Intern,
boss,
right?
intern. Which way is it?
Yeah, she's the boss.
She's
the
the-
boss. He's like the intern.
and,
Yeah.
like, Anyway, apparently, and this is take what you will from the internet, but
I'm
there's
so
been
I don't know what you're about to
there's
say.
been reports and Nicole supposedly has been talking about
Okay.
it that while filming, she would get so into the sex scenes
Uh-huh.
that she would actively have orgasms on set,
Oh.
and like they would have to stop filming to because they need like a minute. or
Really?
whatever. Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Harris Dickinson, man.
Harris Dickens' son, man.
Yeah, and Keith Urban,
Good on you.
good for you.
Jimmy Fallon fumbled.
He did. Fallon fumbled.
Jimmy Fallon dated Nicole Kidman.
You didn't know that?
No, okay, now Nicole here. Now let's not go too crazy here, okay? Like this still.
Yeah.
And now he's with the Costco guys and the Rizzler.
Who won?
The Rizzler one.
So, what movies came out this year that you guys really loved, but just knowing the patterns of the way the Oscars work, you doubt are going to be getting and much of any attention? Now, I'll kick it off with my with mine.
Yeah.
Sasquatch Sunset is one of my favorite movies this year.
Yes.
So very much not the kind of movie that they're gonna go for. It's had the tiniest of releases, but I'd love to see it.
Best doc.
Yeah, honestly, you can kind of view that movie as a doc.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out Tokyo Cowboy, and I was the only person who got to see it because it literally, I swear to God, it might have been in theaters for like a week and then it was gone. I thought it was a really gorgeous movie. It's kind of conventional, narratively speaking. You know, it's like your classic fish out of water kind of movie. You know, Japanese guy goes to the American heartland, blah blah blah, is changed for the better.
That happened to Ethan once, you know.
Yeah, but it was
the
reversed.
reverse happened. Cowboy went to the Japanese heartland.
We call it Utaian samurai. I don't know. What is it?
Utah Samurai. Damn, that's pretty. Hey, that's pretty cool. Hey, call me that from now on.
But yeah, that's there's those two. Of course, my beloved Hong Kong film Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In. Who knows? It premiered at Cannes. It might get a little attention.
Maybe.
But like that's a far reach for international.
Best foreign film. Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I have a few handfuls more, but I'd like to hear what you guys have.
Yeah, I really hope Challengers just gets a lot.
Yeah.
Dune, that's gonna get a lot. Sasquatch Sunset, I don't know what best makeup and hair I would do for Sasquatch Sunset because the Sasquatch prosthetics are like insane. That's what they blew all their money on.
Also had some amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'd do that for visual effects. I saw the TV Glow would be such a cool
movie
nice to acknowledge at the Academy. Like,
it had a pretty small release though, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it was kind of early in the year.
It was in April, so I think it's gonna get forgotten. But like, that was like one of the most
that movie did make a splash. I think culturally speaking, maybe not awards.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I feel like everyone knows of this movie.
Yeah. Love Lies Bleeding, I thought was really cool. Dee Dee, that'd be such a cool. If Dee Dee was like acknowledged,
yeah,
as, like,
even just
a really
thing.
good coming of age film. You know,
yeah.
Like I could see it for like screenplay or something like that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Idea Man, the Jim Henson doc by Ron Howard. I would love to see that in some form or another. Fucking Evil Does Not Exist by Hamaguchi.
Oh no.
By Hamaguchi from Drive My Car. That was a really it's a really good environmental film, but also just he keeps that composure that Drive My Car does, but it's like sort of about saving the small town from industrialization and stuff like that.
Totally.
And tourism. It was really good. Yeah, that's a few of mine.
I could definitely see that for international feature. Yeah. I'm actually pretty confident that I would get something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How about you, Brandon? What's not getting anything that you wish would get some?
Civil War.
I have to raise my mic to.
Yeah, you guys have seen our video.
Shake my head.
That. I think it deserves sound
because it's becoming real.
Screenplay, lead actress, maybe give some redemption to Kaylee Spaney for Priscilla snub.
True.
Picture,
nominate her for Alien.
Yeah. Kinds of Kindness. I think. I mean, I'm a Yorgos head, so anything for that movie.
Yeah.
Screenplay, especially best supporting actor for Jesse Plemons. Best picture.
Yeah. If I were to give it to anyone, I'd give it to Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
I feel like he
so good in that movie.
He did some heavy ass lifting in all three of those films.
I would say A Different Man. I don't think.
Yeah.
I really think it maybe could get makeup. I'm just really impressed with Sebastian Stan this year with his work in both The Apprentice and A Different Man. Both of the films are show such a range that I never expected to see from him.
Yeah,
because he's very. What's it I feel like he's one of those actors who's more of a stoic sort of performer. He kind of gives everything, and every performance I've ever seen from Sebastian Stan, and I haven't seen really much of him outside of the MCU, but everything that I have seen with him outside the MCU feels the same. He's playing the same character.
The badass, stoic.
Yeah.
Macho guy.
Whereas there's a certain vulnerability that he gives to both the guy in what's his name? Edward?
Yeah.
Edward and A Different Man, as well as Trump and The Apprentice, which Donald Trump. And I would love to see both of those films get some sort of nominations, but I doubt it. I think that's basically it, though. Like, I don't really. I'm looking at my stuff, and I don't think this year's been weak in particular.
Right.
Like, there's been a lot of great movies, but there's not a lot of stuff where I go, we need
That's
to
the one.
recognize that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, if I had to put together a top 10 Best Picture nominations,
Do you guys know that GIF the baby?
yeah, it's you. Yeah. If I had to put together a top 10, I think I'd have a difficult time doing it.
Really?
Yeah, I really would. I mean, obviously something like Alien Romulus would never get nominated for Best Picture, but
Yeah.
that's a great film.
It is. Oh.
So
fantastic
it's a
film.
bummer. It's a bummer year in terms of that.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to be more and more convinced based on how things are falling that The Substance will get a Best Picture nomination.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
I just think the messaging is so great.
People are really responding to
People
it.
are really, really responding.
Yeah, the
Even
make
people who aren't like big movie people.
the tech's good
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
it.
looks great.
The director is not due, like she's new.
She's new, but
yeah,
like,
she's not due.
New, but not due.
there's also another movie that we haven't talked about yet.
Sonic 3. Good call.
There's that.
NOSFERATU.
NOSFERATU.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, we can finally talk about Nosferatu.
Oh, the embargo.
Don't spoil
The
it.
social media embargo is lifted.
Don't spoil it.
I know. I think we can review it, or at least just talk about it. Chris and I saw this movie months ago. We
Like
saw Nosferatu.
2023, we saw it.
Did we see it in 2023?
It might have been. No, maybe, but definitely. If not at the end of 2023, at the
I feel
very
like it was
beginning
like
of 2024.
February, right?
Maybe then. Maybe.
Anyways,
I don't know.
we went and saw the movie.
It's great.
Wait, did we see it when we were living
Do you want
together?
me to check it? Yeah, you talk.
Okay, well, I'll talk about it because I want to know exactly when we saw this. Yeah, we got to see Nosferatu. Because we were teasing that we had seen it in the anticipated movies of 2023.
And people were like, "No, you haven't seen
And
it."
Yeah,
we're
we got a
yes,
comment.
we have.
We
Yeah, so
have.
we may have seen it like November, December of last year.
We saw that movie in October 24th of 2023.
Zam.
That was a while ago.
Okay, yeah, we've seen it, but I feel like I remember enough of it
Yeah, I mean,
because it's the
It's not like they
It's
had
the
a lot
same-
of effects work to do, right?
and it's
Yeah.
the same like
narratively, it's
narratively,
quite.
if
It's,
you've
it's
seen
a
the
pretty
first-
nice translation,
yeah,
but it's like the craftsmanship is what really dials it up.
yeah,
And this, I don't want to say too much, but this is like somehow his most gothic movie, and
Yeah.
also somehow his most funny.
yeah.
Do you remember us? We kind of were laughing our asses off a few times in this movie, and it was
Yeah.
great. And I mean that in a complimentary way. It was fantastic.
But he does a really good job of like adapting the sort of eerie feeling that you get from watching the shots on that original like film print of Nosferatu.
Yeah, the one of him in the hallway and the doorway.
and also but like the use of color, like how the original film print would use like dark blues,
Yeah.
you know, projected against the film to make sort of like an eerie dark feeling, and that he does that a lot in this one too. It's also, I feel like the sort of sexual undertones are a lot more prevalent this time around.
There's definitely like a
There's no
feminist
code.
aspect to this thing.
This Orlok fucks, and it's crazy. And he looks crazy too. You'll never guess how he looks, Brandon. I'm just gonna say
Is
that.
he gonna look like the Wolfman from the movie Wolfman coming out this January?
Or
No,
wolves.
but we do have someone else who. Oh wait, we can't say that. Never mind. I don't. Maybe.
Then, like,
Maybe we have someone who has seen this film. They're not here actually right now, so it doesn't matter. They already got in trouble for it though. Yeah, they got in trouble for it, which is why I had to be hesitant.
all right, moving on.
Moving on. Yeah, no. I don't know. It's just Nosferatu's very genre heavy.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't.
I don't think it's gonna get, but I think it might get like production design. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know if it's gonna get
that could also be nominated for makeup and hair
I could see that
for
too.
what they do to
With Orlok,
Skarsgård.
yeah.
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 See, he don't look like himself one bit.
That's
No.
good.
It's probably
crazy.
I
It
would say
looks
it's a bigger transformation than Pennywise.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
because
you
you can
can
still
make
see a
his
little bit
face
of
out.
him in Pennywise.
Yeah, you see his little.
You
mouth.
have no idea.
He literally like it didn't.
You're like, what the fuck? That is Bill
That's
Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
What the hell?
The Skarsgårds are good at transforming.
They are. They like transform into little freaks.
Transformers 1. Just kidding.
Why don't we talk
Well,
about animated
animated
films?
films.
Like, what's that lineup gonna look like? Because
think
I'd say our only locks, Inside Out 2, that's probably gonna win, and Wild Robot.
Wild Robot's gonna win.
Um,
It's my bet.
I think I'm
What
gonna go
else?
on a limb here. I think we all have different favorite animated movies this year.
really?
Okay, Ethan, yours.
What is mine?
I'm guessing. Well, Brandon, I think yours is Wild Robot, but I think
Yep.
Transformers 1 seems pretty close behind.
It is
You
pretty
really
close.
got- By the way, I'm so happy for you, Brandon, that you could come around to Transformers. Oh, you used the
Just
boycott
one
movie.
movie.
Hey, that counts. You are a Transformer head.
Yeah, you're
Trans head.
obsessed though.
Hey,
You're
I don't
obsessed with
judge.
Transformers. I don't think this year has been really strong for animated films.
I
To be
do
honest,
have one animated.
Inside
film.
Out 2 might be my favorite one, but I was like, that one's just good.
My favorite anime movie this year was Memoir of a Snail.
Oh,
it was so cute.
I missed
Really
it.
cute claymation movie.
We didn't get
It was the Zucchini guys, right? They made that one.
think so.
My Life is Zucchini.
Maybe, yeah.
I think
that
so.
sounds about right. And I'm also looking forward to that movie Flow that's coming out in a bit. That cat movie.
What?
It's like a cat.
It's a
animated-
2D animated.
2D animated.
Oh,
But it's made to look like it's 3D animated, but it's 2D,
whoa.
and it's
It looks cool.
It's like a stray
Oh.
cat movie, right?
Yeah, stray cat. And
Oh.
there's other creatures, and
Oh.
I don't really know narrative wise, but it looks cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
agree. I don't think
And
there's
what about
dialogue.
Hit Pig? You guys excited to see Hit Pig?
What's the name of that?
We already lost
I
it.
keep seeing those billboards around LAX. Hit Pig. I'm like, what the fuck is Hit Pig?
Have you not seen the trailer?
No.
It looks like Paw Patrol, but
Looks like Paw Patrol.
with like a anthropomorphic pig who is like a hitman who's trying to save an elephant
What
from
the
a
hell?
like a oil baron.
Maybe from what the hell did you just say? An oil baron?
Yeah, or something like that.
Okay.
And a circus too.
So that one's probably gonna win Best Picture. Hit Pig.
I
Did
would.
they hit the pig? Is that why it's called Hit?
We literally lost it after a week because my theater played it. So, but
Sorry.
those 4 are for sure the 4 that we
Yeah.
listed. Other than Hit Pig, not
Hit
sure.
Pig.
It could happen. I don't know.
Any cool anime that came out this year?
The Lord of the Rings anime is coming out.
Oh yeah, that
That's probably the 5th slot.
Yeah.
If it's good. If it's not good, we're probably looking at Despicable Me 4.
Who will Groot be tonight? That's the question. Oh, this is a brain rot episode of Stacked. Sorry, everybody.
Well, we're getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we're a little rusty. We're a little rusty. We're gonna get back into it. Let's see. What other notable categories y'all want to talk about?
Are there any performances that you would be upset if they weren't nominated?
If they weren't nominated.
I think for me it would be Ray Fiennes for
Conclave.
yeah, he is
I agree.
so
Deserve it.
fantastic. I don't know if he's ever
I do not want to be Pope. It was good.
No, I like Stanley Tucci's
Stanley Tucci's also so good.
Aldo Bellini.
Although
It is a war.
It is a war. Fuck. Who else? Both the guys from Challengers would be good. Like I said, Culkin and Eisenberg for Real Pain. If those guys aren't there, I'm gonna be pissed.
Demi Moore for The Substance.
Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley
Demi
for the,
Moore.
for the Substance. Fucking
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid,
Dennis Quaid, I
best
can
supporting actor. That would be crazy.
Any Dune actors?
Any-
I doubt, but- If I
Javier
had to-
Bardem. In,
if I were to nominate one, I would nominate Austin Butler.
That's pretty good. I would have nominated either. I would nominate either one of those or
Rebecca
Ferguson.
I
She was
would
also fantastic.
I would nominate
those.
Timothy Chalamet.
You would?
Is that a shock?
Well, you're
That is
a hater.
kind of a hater.
You're kind of a hater.
I think he's fantastic in this movie.
He is pretty good.
He is
He's
great.
great.
He's great.
He's like commands the screen, and he's not playing the same character he normally plays, which is my favorite thing.
That's true.
He's branching out. You know, that's why I like him in Wonka.
Paddington, Peru. How are we feeling about Paddington, Peru?
Well, it's coming out next year, so
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, it's still Oscar season.
no,
January, right?
it passes the deadline.
What?
Deadline's January 1st.
Really?
January 6th.
Well, it's coming out in the UK in December.
Doesn't count. It has to be in LA.
He's shooting me down right now. I hate you. Let's see. Performances. Probably Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool Wolverine. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bummer, right?
It is.
I feel like we haven't seen all the big contenders, and the ones we have seen, Megalopolis falls flat, you know?
Yep.
Wolves falls flat.
Well, because I feel like all the big names had their movies out last year.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna be distributing their films like throughout the next 2 years after this.
right. It'll be evenly distributed.
Yeah.
And then Juror number 2, I think it could surprise. That movie is not on anybody's radar because it only got released in 50 theaters.
Yep.
But knowing how much of a Hollywood legend Clint Eastwood is, and he's sort of like his favor, much like Mel Gibson's did in 2016, has sort of swung back positively just
After
because
talking to the chair.
after that incident.
That was crazy.
And he really hasn't had like a great movie in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 to 17 to Paris is wonderful, but
no, it's not.
it's awful.
No, yeah, it's a bummer that this is being slept on because Nicholas Hoult is great in it. I feel like he hasn't really gotten his
his moment. Yeah.
And he's the lead of this.
great.
He's the star.
Because he's been supporting in a bunch of like big Hollywood affair and even some like smaller Oscar favorites, but none where he's had his moment, like you said.
Right.
And yeah, it could happen if they do a larger release of it. Certainly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it rated R? He doesn't know.
I don't. Maybe. I feel like they say "fuck" in it a couple times.
Okay.
The Eastwood movie, so
Yeah.
maybe. Probably.
One take.
Fuck.
My back hurts. He's 94.
Yeah, that guy did it. He killed the lady, but he doesn't know it yet. That's what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Looks cool.
It is
It's
cool.
courtroom, so.
Yeah,
that
and
mean-
it's a good. It's like 12 Angry Men.
Hey, you like that movie?
I
You ever
guess.
heard that one?
No.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's okay, I guess.
Pretty cool movie. Yeah. Any other things you want to say about the Oscars? I mean, like
We'll have more to say later.
We'll have more to say throughout these next few months. We'll probably be come back on the show to talk about more of these movies that have been released and give our thoughts on them and
The
talk
picture
about
will be
them.
clearer.
Yeah, and get a clear picture.
We'll have our naiads of the month.
Okay, how about this? Everyone, that's the last thing we do. Let's just go down 5 movies you really want to see on the Best Picture lineup.
Okay.
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Dune, Challengers. Let's see. This is like.
We're being like.
These
realistic.
are not. No, let's be like.
We can be
be
idealistic.
semi-realistic.
It's not impossible,
of
but
the type of fair. So I'd
Uh-huh.
do Dune, Challengers. I Saw the TV Glow, A Real Pain, and Anora. Those would be my 5. That would be so cool if those 5 can make it into the 10 of the Best Picture lineup. Chris, do you have your 5?
Yeah, I'll do Dune, The Substance, A Real Pain, Anora, and Twilight of the Warriors. Walden.
Walden.
That's my biggest reach.
He's a wallhead.
Wallhead.
Wallheads roll up.
All
What
right.
do you got?
Conclave.
Ooh,
Yeah, come on, man.
I know.
Civil War. It could happen. The Apprentice. Dune, and The Substance.
What if all those movies happen in real life in the same world?
At the same time.
I'd want to be there.
You'd want to be there?
I want to watch it all go down.
I'll go down. I want to be around, just hang out.
I want to see the popes pick their new pope.
Yeah,
They pick Paula Tree.
that was a good movie. Let's talk about that before we end the show.
What?
Why? We've all seen it. What's everyone's thought? Everyone give a Blu-ray rating for Conclave.
For Conclave?
This is
Yeah.
a cozy review.
Yeah, it's a cozy review. I give it 4 Blu-rays. I thought it was fun, and I just thought it was I didn't know John Lithgow was gonna be in it. That was cool.
I love it when character actors or actors who are older show up in movies and they're unexpected, not cameos, just not in the marketing, because Ray Fiennes was the whole thing. Maybe my low expectations, given how I felt mildly about All Quiet on the Western Front was going to impact this movie, but I was enraptured in it.
Was it made by the same guy?
Yeah.
same director.
Oh,
And honestly, I'm shocked at how well it's doing business-wise. It's making $6 million every weekend. And that's consistent, no drop or anything,
Yeah.
which means people are really digging
my
it.
theater was packed.
It's a PG movie.
Yeah.
And so that's great that we have an adult drama that's PG and says something interesting. It feels like a classic movie already.
Yeah.
And give it 4 out of 5 Blu-rays as well.
I'm on the 3.5 train for this one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The only reason is
Fuck you.
the movie's a bit dry for my taste. at times.
Dry.
You
But
hate
also-
me because I'm Catholic, don't you?
I
No, we hate you because you're a capitalist. Things just took a really violent turn here on Stacked.
Go ahead.
uh,
Careful what you say.
He'll push you too.
yeah, it was a bit dry for me at times, but the performances and what it's saying about faith and institutions and
Sorry.
elections. Very
Oh,
timely,
yeah, I know.
very
That was
timely
crazy.
of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They even kind of make a joke, like kind of almost jab at the American election because they say like, "Are we really just picking between the two worst options?"
Yep.
It's like,
And I was like,
like I think my audience giggled when
Yeah.
when that line came up.
my
There was a
eyes-
lot of giggles. In
We all
this.
kicked our feet up in the air, like curled our toes and giggled. And
There's a line near the end of the movie which an actor reveals something about themselves that had an uproarious laughter arise from my theater.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it what I think it is? That sucks. See, that's why I don't go to fucking Cerritos. I'm gonna condemn
Cerritos.
striking
It wasn't. It
the
wasn't.
Harkins Cerritos.
It
theater,
wasn't for what I don't think it was a laughter because of it was making fun
just
of
like
this
of like the shot,
absurdity of the how like they'd gone through this whole ordeal and that was the
Like,
end.
and yeah,
That's the
Like it just like oh wow.
it was. I was all there for it. I was like, yeah,
This
fuck
is
yeah, that's
awesome.
cool. I've realized I really love movies about religion that are not made by like
religious people.
propaganda studios.
Angel Studios.
Yeah, like Breakthrough. You know who's in Heretic? Topher Grace.
I heard about
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah.
I heard
Have we
about.
He
not-
plays a
I've not-
Mormon.
Have you not seen him in a movie since Breakthrough?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he's playing
He's
another
back.
church guy again.
He's not in the best Christmas pageant ever.
In theaters now. All right, let's end this show.
All right.
Wait, let me know your Oscar predictions.
We missed you.
We missed you.
We'll
We'll
be
be back,
back.
and we'll be more rehearsed next time. We're gonna go to a movie premiere. Bye.
Bye.